Here's a very basic and quick demo of the 257R. This is a clone of the original Buchla 257. You've got, it's a dual processor, so you've got two sections, so we'll just cover the top one. It's the same as the bottom. You've got three controls. You've got K on the left here, which is an attenuator, and then you've got M in the center, which is basically a mixer. Mixes from this input and this input. You can do it manually, or you can do it via voltage control. Then you've got section V, which is the total output, and it's offset, and it has, and by turning this knob you can get 0 to 10 volts. Now you can get voltages from these other areas too. So with an external input into this K section, whatever you put into it is attenuated, either negatively or positively, and then it's added to whatever is input here. If there's nothing input here, this goes directly to the offset. If you've got 5 volts here and you increase it 5 volts here, you're going to get a total of 10, so anything past here is going to do nothing. I hope that makes sense. If you've got nothing in here and you turn this up, you're going to get 0 to 10 volts in its full swing. Another nice thing is this switch right here. If you flip it up, it gives you 5 volts to this jack, so that you can have a 5-fold offset, which is CV controllable, because basically when you put CV in here, it chooses between this side or that side, or this input or that input. Right? So it's pretty neat. It's almost like a switch in a way, but it's a voltage controlled panner. So here's what it sounds like when you apply it to, say, an oscillator. So right now, I've got the output of the 257, just the output going to the keyboard input on the 259R, 259 clone. So, okay, so I've got a random sequence being generated from the 266R. Let's put that into this side, unattenuated. So as I turn it down to this side of the M, there's nothing plugged in, and this is off, so you get 0 volts added here. So you've got this random sequence here, so you can kind of attenuate it. You can actually offset it now. Right? Okay, so what happens if we put 5 volts on here? Well, here's what it sounds like. Now, if I take this out, I've got 5 volts that can be manually offset, or we could use a voltage source to do the same thing, but I'm not going to demo it. It works just great. Now, if we had something plugged into this side, you'd get 5 volts on the left. And let's put that sequence, random sequence here again. Right now, with the knob fully clockwise, there is nothing except for the sequence from the 266. As I go counterclockwise, I'm adding the static 5 volts. So I can turn this off and do the same thing here. Right? Okay. Let's take this out. What if you wanted a much lower sequence? Well, you can put it into the attenuator. Positive gain, we can invert it. Now the frequency is too low. Maybe we could... Okay. With this clockwise, flip the 5 volts up, we could have voltage controlled attenuation. Sounds like this. In fact, let's do that. It's kind of crazy right now, but let's take a looping 281 and control that. Okay. So here's our looping 281. In fact, let's take this sequence out. 5 volts is here. So what we have is a transient coming out of here, a falling wave right now, patched into the panning here, which is going full 5 volts to 0 volts, like this. Let's bring the offset back down. Actually, it's a rising wave, I'm sorry. It gives the effect of it anyway, the way we've got it patched. Alright, what if we turn off this internal voltage source, and let's take that random sequence again, and let's put it in left side of M. Now, I can either manually dial it in, or I could use a voltage source to do the same thing. I'll use this falling wave from the 281. Alright, anyway, what if we just took the falling wave out of here and dropped it into this attenuator? Remember, at one point you're reaching full 10 volt swing. It's not going to get any higher. So 10 volts is already being applied here, so I can bring it down.